Hi everybody. Today we're going to do the third pastel drawing of the pastel drawing series that we've been doing. So what I want you guys to be able to do is I want you guys to be able to get into art. And it doesn't take very much. A lot of people think that it takes a lot of expensive materials, expensive paint, expensive computers, expensive programs, and it doesn't. Everything we're going to use today, the total is $3. So I want you to go to your dollar store, I want you to pick up a few supplies, and I want you to do it. Okay? So today, we're going to be doing this winter scene. We've already done a Japanese island scene, a tropical scene, and now we're going to do a cool winter scene with a sunset. So that's 3 things that you can do for the price of $3. That's $1 a drawing. So if this doesn't get you into art, nothing will. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how I did this drawing. Okay? Start off with a piece of paper. Okay? This is cardstock. I have it around because it works well with my markers. A piece of printer paper will do it. The back of something that you printed off for work will do it. Okay, and I'm going to start off with a yellow pastel crayon. We're doing crayons today, so it's going to be fun. And I'm going to do just a circle. Okay? That circle is going to be the sun in my drawing. Then I'm going to move over to kind of a pink. Now I'm going to do a little rotation, and that's just because I find it's easier to go side to side using up and down. In a lot of my videos I talk about the way your hand moves. Your hand moves like this. Okay, so up and down is easier than side to side, and a circle this way is easier than a circle going this way. So I'm going to do a rotation, so I'm working with my hand. And I'm just going to do some lines, building up my sky. Okay? I want to leave some blank spots in here, and I want to go heavy in some spots. Okay? Something. Anything is okay. And then in the outer edges of my drawing, like especially here in the corners, I want to go darker red. Maybe some red in here. I don't want to touch that white, but right here, maybe some red. Some in the bottom. And then some up here in the corner. It's a good idea to put dark stuff up in your corners, because that's going to direct your viewer's eye into your drawing. Okay? And then with a Q-tip or a tissue paper or whatever, I'm going to start in my sun, and I'm going to blend it out. I'm going to try to make my sun grow as big as I can make it grow. Make that sun grow. Okay. Then I'm going to flip to the other side, and I'm going to start blending. Blending first closest to the sun, making sure I bring pink right into my sun, but I don't touch it. Don't touch the sun. That's probably good advice in real life. I'm going to leave some spots alone. Don't touch that one. Softer towards the outside. And then you're going to blow away your unicorn dust. Okay? And it's that easy to make a sun and a sky using these pastel crayons. If you really want to, you can add some white to make a few streaky clouds. And you can also use like a dark blue crayon is really nice, and make some clouds. When you make your clouds, don't make like a cartoon cloud shape. That's iconography. It's an icon for a cloud, but real clouds don't look like that. Real clouds look like that. Okay? Real clouds look like anything. So if you try to make an iconography of a cloud, it will not look like a cloud. But if you just anything, it'll look like a cloud. Okay? And for the clouds, you want to blend them and leave the top alone. So blend the bottom out. Leave the top alone. Blend the bottom out. Leave the top alone. That easy. The other thing with these pastel videos is I want them to be quick. I want them to be something that you guys can just do so that it's not a problem. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that same really dark blue and we're going to put in some kind of mountains, okay? The only thing I want you to make sure you don't do when you make your mountains, don't make a bunch of triangles. There's no mountain that's a triangle. If they did, they would call it the Great Triangle Mountain. Just make a weird line. And then color it downwards a little bit. This is all just done with dark blue. The most important part is going to be the top part of your mountain. But don't make a triangle. That's one of the most difficult things to do. And I've been drawing and I've been painting mountains for a couple years now. And that's still one of the most difficult things for me to not do, is to not do a triangle. Over that, add a little bit of red or a little bit of pink. You're just mixing colors now. And we're trying to get like a nice dark purpley stone kind of color. You can throw a little bit of brown in there. To darken it up, dull the color down. And I think that's probably okay. And what I'm going to do, blow off my unicorn dust. I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to blend downward. I'm going to try to pull my mountain downward. And I'm going to sort of try to lay out the shape of this mountain. One face of the mountain is going to go this way. The other face of the mountain is going to go that way. And that's going to help me know where to make light and shadows. Okay, once you've pulled it down, keep blending. Blend down. All this area here where the color is quite weak, that's kind of a mist, and that's going to help give you some kind of distance in your pastel drawing. And it's the same thing with oil painting too. The more and more that I've been doing these pastel drawings for these videos, the more I've been finding similarities between it and the oil painting that I'm used to. Okay? Now, you're going to take a white crayon and you're going to pay attention to your light source. In this drawing, it's really obvious. The light source is the sun. So anything that's going to be attacked by that sun is going to get some of this white on it. Okay, all these faces on the left side of these mountains are going to get some white. The tops of these guys will get some white. And this face will get some white. And you're starting to build up some mountains. When it comes to drawing anything in nature, just let things happen. you don't want to force anything to happen too much on your drawing, because nature's random. It's random by nature. If you try to control it, it will not look realistic. If you're a bit of a control freak, and some people are, the best thing to do would be to draw mechanical things. Things that are in the built environment, using rulers and measuring angles. And you can do those. I like to do nature things because I'm not a good artist. And that way I can make lots of mistakes and nobody notices. Okay. All I'm doing is I'm just sort of taking a darker blue and I'm filling in some of the area that is covered in shadow. And just like that, I have some kind of a nice mountain range. Now, the next thing in my drawing is I have some background trees. And I have 2 layers of background trees. I'm just going to show you the original drawing for a second, so you guys can see what I'm working with. We have 2 layers of trees here. Okay? The ones that are further away are lighter in color, and the ones that are closer are a little bit darker. If your set of crayons has 2 different browns, the way mine does, you're in luck. If not, you just do one set with brown and add some white, and then you do another set with darker brown. This mist I made here, I don't want to cut through it entirely, but I want to do some strokes. And I want these strokes to get bigger and bigger and bigger as they get closer and closer and closer to me. I want to use a clean Q-tip, and I'm going to pull down just a little bit. Don't overblend it, be gentle. I'm a big, strong guy. One thing I've done a lot of is I did a lot of weightlifting, and working more and more in art has helped me to be a little bit more gentle with myself. So, be gentle. If I can be gentle, you can be gentle. Pull down, just make a little bit of mist, and then go to your next darkest brown, repeat that step. Okay. Anything's okay, these are just trees. If they get really far apart, just add a few more trees. Pull that down. Now I have some distant trees, 2 different layers. The more layers you can do in a kind of landscape like this, the more distance you're going to get out of it. And distance is really, really good. Just make sure you separate your different layers by some kind of mist or a fog, and you're in business. Let's add another layer, just a little bit of snow. This is like a light blue crayon. Just going to do kind of a thick line. And then I'm going to blend it. And I'm going to blend it going towards the white. Now this is when you got to start being careful about touching things. So I'm going to rotate so I don't touch too much, because I already touched it a little bit. And I'm going to start from the dark part, and I'm going to bring my white down. If you do touch it a little bit and you get some red in there, like, that's not a big deal. That's not the worst thing in the world that can happen. That's just, you know, that's light from the sky reflecting into your snow. And that's not the worst thing ever. I got some snow there. And here's a trick I want you guys to learn. You're following a guide, and this drawing that I've done now is a fair bit different from the first drawing I did. I can even show you. Okay. When I got to the tree step in this drawing, it made sense for me to put trees on both sides. Just the way of the land, the way I thought things should look. Be flexible. Kites fly on strings. This drawing's a little bit different, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do trees on both sides. This drawing, I feel like, is going to look a lot better with one tree. One tree, one big tree, right here. Right here. This is the tree for me. Okay. That's the tree for me. That tree is a lonely tree, and he's looking at the sun, and that's all you really need for something like this. Okay. The bottom of this tree, I'm just going to clean it up with a little bit of white, because the way that the pastel blends with other pastels, that's already made the shadow for the tree. Maybe I might want to cast the shadow. I'm going to go from my sun to the base of my tree, straight line. If I'm not getting enough color, maybe I'll just add it. From my sun to the base of my tree, straight line. Then blend it. Okay. So, I hope this has been good for you guys. I've done 3 videos showing you how to use pastels, on how to do some really simple drawings that take about 10 minutes to do. I really hope this gets you into art, because for me, doing art has definitely helped me out. It's made me a lot happier as a person. It's made me learn to appreciate the things I see. It's what made me learn to appreciate color. And I hope you guys just try it. You don't have to do it, but if you guys try it, maybe you'll like it. And maybe you'll see the world a little bit differently. And maybe, you know, you'll find something that you're good at. Until next time, thank you very much for coming to my studio and watching my videos. Have a good night, guys.